You see the frantic action taking place. It's Tommy Hakenin who starts on pole position. Alongside him, Kevin Hansen on the front row. Row 2, Timmy Hansen and Craig Breen, the fast-starting Irishman. Keep an eye out for him. Hayden Padden and Jerome Grosjean on the back row of the grid. Now, not only the start is going to be important, but finding your braking point in these conditions is going to be pretty important as well.
Yeah, something that, again, that these guys haven't had to do in these conditions this weekend. So hopefully we're not going to be seeing anybody off on a trip to Vienna on the grass. But yeah, these guys are all very, very experienced drivers, let's not forget. So, you know, I'm sure they should be okay.
Ready to race board is displayed. The final for round 7 of Titans RX Europe here in Austria is underway. Good launch there from Hansen. Great launch for Hakenin. Keep an eye out for Grosjean, who goes for the outside line. He pulls off to the right-hand side of the circuit. Down towards the first turn we go. Breen on the outside. Kevin Hansen on the inside as they go side by side over the jump. But Tommy Hakenin holds the initial advantage. Then comes Kevin. Then comes Craig Breen. Then it is Timmy Hansen who's trying to make his way through against Breen. They go side by side. The third position through the left-hander. Door handle to door handle for track position. And Timmy's through. He's up into third place. And now Breen versus Padden. They're going side by side. And Padden is through. He's into fourth place here on the opening lap. Brilliant start there for those guys. Difficult start for Craig Breen.
Yeah, good move by Timmy Hansen to make his way back up through the pack as we see Hayden Padden trying to go up his inside, lighting the throttle up and running out wide, and Craig Breen is back up his inside again. So Craig now trying to make up places from after losing out in that really long gravel section, and the visibility for these guys. Look at the spray off the back of the cars. Timmy Hansen's overshot on the brakes.
Straight on. Yeah, he's straight on. He is going to the centre of Vienna then for Timmy Hansen. That is disappointing. You can see him on the grass. He's trying to come back on. Oh, nearly coming very close there to Hayden Padden. He just managed to avoid him, but that is a disaster for Timmy Hansen, not only in terms of where he'll finish in this final, but also for his series lead as well, let's not forget.
Yeah, so it's really going to hurt his championship points at this point as Hayden Padden's having another look at Craig Breen, who you might see him in the background, a shot.
Oh, contact between them, and Breen was shuffled out wide. Did he hit the tyre barrier going into that corkscrew section? I think he might have just managed to avoid it and keep himself on the straight and narrow. He did. He's still in third place, but here comes Padden down the inside of the penultimate corner. They kick up the water, and Breen gets shuffled out wide. He's nearly into the wall through there. There is Grosjean in stricken car as we come over the line once again, but now Hayden Padden is in the pound seats. He's in the podium position here as well.
And he's just shot off. I just saw in the background a shot in turn 1, so he misjudges braking point. I think Timmy Hansen now, that promotes him back up into P3, so Timmy Hansen able to get past Craig Breen after the contact between him and Padden, and then Padden making that mistake and pushing Timmy Hansen back up into a podium position.
Well, this is big drama then here. So Hakenin, well, of course, he is fighting for the series lead. He was tied on points with the man who is directly behind him in second position. Both of those guys tied for second on 126 points in the Titans RX series, and this can be crucial to see how this will swing for the last few rounds of the Titans RX series in 2019. Here we go, though. Look at Breen trying to muscle his way through against Timmy Hansen down the inside to the penultimate corner, and he's through. Is Craig Breen.
Timmy Hansen's puncher.
He's got a puncher. Yeah, you're absolutely right. He has. So that's a big drama. That's not the first time today he's had a puncher for Timmy Hansen. He had one in free practice earlier on. He's surely just going to have to try and keep going, try and drive around it as best as he can here for Timmy Hansen, but that is going to be so difficult. It's going to be understeering like a cross-channel ferry, but he's still managing to find his way through against Craig Breen. What a bit of driving there from Timmy Hansen. He's up the inside, and Craig Breen punts out wide, and they go over the jump now, and he still manages to get himself ahead, does Timmy Hansen. What a bit of driving. And here comes Kevin Hansen as well, into the back of Tommy Hakenin, into that penultimate corner we go. He's not able to find his way past, but he's really piling that pressure onto the Finnish driver.
Yeah, Kevin Hansen's letting him know he's there, isn't he? A little taps in the back here and there just to try and keep him, let him know he's there to just pile that pressure on. And he seems to have dropped back a little bit now at this stage, but I'm sure we'll see him get back up there again. He seems to have a little bit more pace than Toppy.
Yeah, it certainly does, but he's lost a little bit out here on this fifth lap in that first sector. Toppy seems to have gotten his act together, so maybe Kevin was able to close up following a mistake by Toppy. We didn't see that on screen if it did happen, and look here at Timmy Hansen. He's battling that car. He's fighting all the way through with that puncher, as you said here, Dan, as well. Breen has managed to find his way back through into fourth position here in this race, so that is good there for Craig Breen. That's what he wanted to do, but he's not quite in contention for the podium. Meanwhile, that battle for the race lead is still continuing on for these guys between Hakenin and between Hansen here.
Just seeing Craig Breen's got a right rear puncher, so Craig Breen with a puncher as well. Timmy on the front, Craig Breen on the back. Arguably it's a bit easier for Craig Green with it on the back. It means he won't have problems with it turning in, but yeah, Timmy's still able to keep with him there at this point.
Yeah, absolutely right. Oh my goodness me, this is big drama, isn't it, for Green and Timmy Hansen. They're both battling two very separate sort of circumstances, both having punches, but as you said, Dan, one on the front, one on the rear, completely changes the characteristics and how they're having to drive, and the fact that they are doing so well out on track is just absolutely commendable to them so far. And Craig Green's flat out and completely sideways through turns 2 and turn 3, over the jump they come then for the penultimate time of asking, and it looks like it's a bit of a foregone conclusion unless Breen makes a mistake that he will be holding on to that 4th position here in this race. Still Timmy Hansen though, look at that front right wheel, it is scraping all over the tarmac. The good thing is that it's not causing any sparks, of course, because of the wet conditions, but it is still not a tricky, not an easy set of circumstances, I should say, to be in here.
No, really difficult. And we're looking back now at the battle for the lead between Toppy and Kevin Hansen, and the gap just seems to maybe have come down a tiny bit, but not quite enough as we're on the final lap.
We are, yeah, in towards the final series of corners we go. Kevin is closing. He's going to think about a bit of a lunge down in towards this penultimate corner. He's going to think about it against Toppy Heikkinen. Can he find his way through? He's into the back of him. He sends Heikkinen sideways there, flat out. They're going towards the line, and they come to the checkered flag, but Toppy Heikkinen takes victory by the smallest of the margins, 0.07 of a second to the line against Kevin Hansen. What an absolutely brilliant performance. Toppy Heikkinen wins. Kevin Hansen in 2nd position, and over the line in 3rd place will surely come Hayden Patton. He does, 12.6 seconds down. Craig Breen is going to finish, I think, in 4th position with that right rear puncher. Timmy Hansen with the right front puncher on his Titans RX car will finish in 5th position. And of course, Gross Engineer, he sadly is a DNF in this race after pulling off straight after the start of this one. But absolutely electric racing in Titans RX. Toppy Heikkinen takes another victory in 2019 here, Dan.